Hello and welcome to the small town of Creswell, Oregon, located just south of Eugene, where the University of Oregon Ducks make their home. And by the way, they're having a fantastic season this year. But I'm here today to talk about Creswell and some disturbing things going on in this small community. Creswell has been known as a friendly town for years, a reputation earned by friendly greeters welcoming newcomers at the old train station. But things are changing in Creswell. Recently, the city of Creswell constructed a new water treatment plant, one large enough to handle a city population 5 times its current size. Statistics predict only an annual 7% growth of about 300 people a year. Using those numbers, this new facility won't reach capacity for over half a century. The decision by city officials to build this facility has put a huge burden on Creswell taxpayers. Creswell residents are now forced to let their lawns go brown, cut down on showers and bathing, because monthly budgets just can't support these excessive water bills inflated to pay for this project. City officials, in their own remarks, only raise more questions about why this facility was constructed here. Listen to City Administrator Mark Shives.
When you build a facility, you have to look forward to where you're going to be in 20 years.
Mark Shives, City Administrator. Mr. Shives said in planning for this facility, they looked out 20 years into the future. Yet in the end, they built a facility projected to handle Creswell water needs for the next 60 years. Questions. Why did city officials put this huge tax burden on Creswell taxpayers? Why was this huge plant built in this tiny community, with growth expectations of a mere 7% annually? And maybe a more intriguing question is, why is the local media not speaking out? City officials don't seem to be too concerned about the burden they've cast on their taxpayers. They have continued to spend taxpayer money with projects beyond their size. After the $18 million debt acquired to build the water treatment plant, they decided to build a new city hall, an extravagant city hall for this size community. This time they didn't go into debt and pass it on to the taxpayers. They just dipped into hard-earned taxpayer reserves and spent over $1 million on this new city hall without putting it to a vote before taxpayers. This new city hall is approximately 5 times larger than the city hall previous. The mayor seems to be proud of the fact he circumvented the ballot process in order to get this new office building. Listen to how he boasts the fact that he made the decision without voter approval.
The beauty of this, we needed a new city hall, and Creswell did this without having to go to the voters, without having to do a bond measure. We paid cash for this. I mean, that is just unheard of in this day and age. I am just so proud of the city of Creswell and the administration here for being so responsible and being able to do this without going to the voters for tax dollars.
It seems that city officials are intent on the pursuit of projects in this small community beyond its needs, way beyond. The question again is why? Why circumvent taxpayers when spending their tax dollars? And consider this, the city now has hired a public relations company to put a positive spin on their spending habits. Why? Is this an attempt to cover up something going on behind closed doors? Is it an attempt to ward off public scrutiny of excessive spending? If the local media isn't raising questions, why spend more money to hire marketing professionals to make things appear rosy in Creswell? Beyond Creswell recent spending excesses, there is the question of how the city is upholding their long-standing reputation of being a friendly community. Let's look at a couple of recent examples of city actions and how they have affected citizens over at the Creswell Airport. David Wright and his father before him had a dream of building a skydiving business in Cresswell. They invested over $160,000 in a new hangar facility to build their new business. The Wright brothers' skydiving business thrived for 16 years here, but city politics came into play and blocked skydivers from landing on city property. This devastated the business. They fell behind on rents, and like a predator, the city of Cresswell moved in for the kill. After crippling the business by cutting off its revenue, they confiscated the $160,000 hangar built by the Wright brothers and sent them packing. A great windfall for the city, but a ruthless play, a devastating blow dealt to a small business by a supposed friendly city of Cresswell. Elsewhere on the airport is another tale of city government losing touch with reality. A couple retired from United Airlines and decided to build their retirement home adjacent to the Cresswell Airport some 14 years ago. They built a beautiful home at the south end of the airport at great expense. Since they built here, their fees for airport access have been raised nearly 3,000%. That was mostly due to the acting airport manager reporting to the City Council and Airport Commission that the airport would lose federal funding if they didn't drastically increase fees. This wasn't true, but without fact-checking actions by the City Council to correct the mistake, this family continues to have to pay these greatly inflated fees in their retirement years. The airport manager who created the problem for this couple is now costing the city upwards of $90,000 a year for her position. That's approximately 5 times the cost of the 2 previous airport managers. If you've been paying attention, you've probably picked up on a recurring theme here. That's the number 5. Cresswell built a water plant for a city 5 times its current size. Cresswell built a city hall 5 times larger than the previous one. Cresswell hires an airport manager, costing taxpayers 5 times that of previous managers. Seems like this city likes that number 5. Cresswell, Oregon. A friendly city? A fiscally responsible government? It's time for Cresswell taxpayers to take a closer look at what's going on in their community and start asking more questions of its elected officials. Thank you for taking a moment to learn a little bit more about what's going on in the small town of Cresswell, Oregon.